What's up? What's up? Happy Thursday. It's almost Friday. Welcome to another episode of GREL Podcast. Today is September 14th, 2023. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to our GREL discussion. I use this platform to mainly talk about things, anything from golf, real estate, life, and everything in between. That's kind of how we came up with the name, and just kind of ran with it. So, anyways, I've got some exciting material to talk about today. It's been a while since I recorded, so welcome back to myself. I'm happy to be here, and I am excited to kind of talk about some things recently that have happened. So, let's start with life and real estate. How about that? Let's go with that. So, life has been going along, everything's been good. Physically, been getting a little bit more energy, a little bit better, focus throughout the day, and been able to really get through my days a lot smoothly. One of the main factors has been a change in diet philosophy a little bit, and also a change in morning routine. So I used to be a black coffee guy for years, and recently I've cut it out and switched it over to matcha. Everybody talks about matcha, so I've started to use matcha, and I got to be honest. My number one struggle in the morning is kind of getting kicking and going into the routine, and so I started to develop a really slow routine of waking up and really getting the day going. And what I mean by slow is it just takes me a while to kind of, even though I'm up and awake and doing some things, but it takes me a while to kind of get into the mode of things. And so coffee wasn't doing it, and really it was just more of a ritual than anything else. So I started to consider doing matcha, and looked at some recipes and that kind of thing, some smoothies and stuff. So I feel like, physically, I do like to work out, and I've toyed with working out early in the day, later in the day, early in the evening, late at night. And the best thing I could tell you is, for me personally, I got to do it on an empty stomach or with not much in my stomach. And, besides like a shake or something, right? Protein shake or something. So that brings me to trying to actually do it in the morning, anywhere between 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., somewhere in that range. And it really helps kickstart my day and gives me extra energy. And coffee wasn't really doing it, so I switched to matcha. I started making matcha smoothies, and I'll add all the seeds in there with the smoothie shake. Chia seeds, hemp seeds, not hemp seeds, sorry, chia seeds. There's like quite a few different seeds that I try to use in there to just give me some extra energy and vitamins. So super green foods, superfood greens, and also beetroot powder. So I kind of combine all of that with just a little bit of water and not milk, but my wife really likes oat milk, so I've been trying the oat milk, and it really, is pretty good. No flavor, and much better than milk itself. So mix that together with some fruit, usually frozen blueberries. So I started doing this a few weeks back, and I gotta tell you guys, my energy has shot up, incrementally, and it's given me focus throughout the day. And my workouts have been amazing. I'm not struggling to get through the workout, and the bones aren't hurting as much, and the muscles aren't as sore, and I'm not cramping as much. So overall, it's been a really healthy transition from coffee to matcha, and I love this shake form. That'll be my breakfast basically. So protein powder, all that kind of stuff, all the seeds, and matcha powder, and so I really enjoyed it. And my focus has been really good. I'm really proud of that. I've been struggling with focus and energy, throughout the day, and this has really helped kickstart it. So I'm going to continue doing that and see how it goes. I'll hopefully give you another update on my next episode, a few weeks down the line. And wanted to share with you that it has really been a cool little pick me up in the morning, and I kind of look forward to my smoothie now. I kind of look forward to my workouts. And once I'm done with my workouts, come back home, eat lunch, and just start working. And I've been able to be more productive as well. I don't crash during the day, and I've really been able to get stuff done. And that goes back to life and what's going on in my career. Things are kicking into gear. And even though we're at a end of the summer season, I've got a aggressive goal of trying to add additional members to the group, additional members to the team. There's a awesome merger coming soon, and I will announce it when everything is finalized. But there's a lot of things happening in real estate that I'm excited about, and I'm really in a good place in terms of being able to handle all of that, mentally and physically. And this past few weeks, matcha powder has really helped. I'm not saying matcha powder is some sort of miracle, but I think just making that minor switch and adding all the other vitamins that go with it has really impacted me, physically and mentally and in a positive way. And so I want to pass that along that, if coffee is your main thing, nothing wrong with that, but you may want to try something else if you're struggling with energy and focus throughout the day. So anyways, that's what's been going on in life. Told you a little bit about real estate. We've got some cool things coming on, and we're adding more people to the group and revenue share. And I do want to share something. I got an email this morning. I made my Icon Award, so I am super proud of that. It's been a fulfilling year, and my year actually ends in October, so I don't go calendar year. It's actually my anniversary year with the company. So I signed on October 1st. That's when my anniversary is, so I accomplished this feat with just a few weeks left. Normally, I'm able to icon a lot faster, but when things are slow, that's what's going to happen. But I hustled and I got it, and this is my 4th year in a row iconing, and it has really positive implications on what's going to happen with my qualifications for this Icon Award. I get a chance to earn all of my shares back, all of my cap money back in shares. Let me put it that way. So the company's going to award me with all of my cap that I paid them, all the fees that I've paid them so far, the past 11 months. I get all of that back in company shares. It's a huge accomplishment in terms of goal setting, and I strive to continue to be an icon agent every year that I'm at EXP, and this is year number 4. First year I did it with Jacob, so both of us icon together, and it was cool. Jacob, my partner, and in the last 3 years, after he passed away, I've been able to continue and be an icon agent myself, and I didn't think I could do it myself. It's quite a feat. I mean, there's a lot of things you got to go through, but it's an amazing end to the journey. When you're done and you get that email saying you have qualified and you are an icon agent for 2023. So really cool news I wanted to share. I may dedicate an episode in the future about talking more about EXP and how, the Icon program really helps realtors kind of cement their legacy, put money aside, and really have a mini retirement on the side. So that's where the Icon program was one of the biggest factors why I came to EXP. Now, for another bit of news, besides the Icon accomplishment and sharing with you a little bit about what happened with the change of diet and matcha and all that. I want to talk about another goal that I recently accomplished. This particular goal, and I can't believe I'm saying it with a smile, but this particular goal took 20 years to accomplish. And 20 years don't go by easily when you're trying to do something, no matter what it is. But let me start out by saying this. It has to do with golf, right? I'm a huge golf nut. You guys know that. So when I first started playing golf, I did it because I hurt my knee, had a torn ACL, and didn't really have the capability of playing basketball or baseball anymore, because the ACL injury is pretty tough on you physically, and especially on your knee. So I started playing golf with my buddy Mike, and we would just go to the driving range, and then he's like, come play. And so I started playing, and he really got me into it, so credit to you, Mike. When I first started playing, I didn't know anything about the game. I didn't know anything. I didn't take lessons. I just went out there and just, hit hit the ground and just bash the club. So just try to find a way to hit the ball, right? So as I started to get addicted to this game, um, I started to wonder. I was over 100 in my scoring, right? For 18 holes, I was scoring over 100, and that's normal for someone who's new, doesn't know what they're doing. But I really started to, you know, take an approach of trying to get better. I do that with anything I do, right? I want to be better at it. So try to get better in practice and, take some lessons and buy as much equipment as I could afford and that kind of thing. And I really tried to get to a place where I can understand how I could get better, and there's so many different key aspects to golf. There's not just one thing. You can't be good at it in one aspect. You may be able to hit the ball far, you may be able to hit the ball straight, you may be able to be a really good putter, you may be able to hit irons good, you may be able to chip, but you got to put the whole package together for you to improve. So as I cracked the hundreds, got into the 90s, I started thinking, I was like, man, shooting a 90 is great, but God, is it hard. How do the pros do it? The pros are shooting in the 60s. How did they get there? And so it became a pursuit for me, not a specific, well, I'll say a specific number too, but not a time frame, but it's just a pursuit, of constant pursuit of getting better. And I finally started to crack 90, so I started shooting in the 80s, and I was like, man, I can shoot 88. Now I can shoot 86. Oh my God, I shot an 82. I shot an 80. Whoa, and then I started to get to the next scoring, accomplishment, which was in the 70s, and shot my first 79 a few years ago, probably a while ago. I can't remember exactly when, but that same day I had my first eagle, and those are cool things that you remember. And as you start to get better, you start to develop a love for the game, but you also start to develop your own routine, your own thought process of how you're going to play that particular day, how you're going to dissect a course, and it could get really cerebral for me, right? So I looked forward to it. I looked forward to a challenge of, I'm not playing against my friends, I'm playing against the course. I'm playing against the conditions, and how am I going to get through it and try to score the best I can? So that brings me to, what I recently accomplished. And the number one thing that stuck out to me was eventually, I'm never going to be a pro, but eventually, can I shoot around in the 60s? Being in the 60s where the pros are, right? So I told myself, look, if I can get to the magic number of 69, which is one below 70, crack the 70 number, get to that 69 number, and see if I can really accomplish that in my lifetime, and see if I can get there. So 20 years ago, that pursuit started, and it ended yesterday. So it was an amazing day, amazing round. I shot a gross 68. One better than what I thought I would ever, and it was an amazing day, an amazing feeling, accomplishing something after 20 years of trying. And when I started, I didn't think I was ever going to shoot the 60s, but it was the pursuit, it was the journey that was really vital for me. And this is not a post about bragging that I shot a 68. I shot a 68, my personal best. It's amazing to me. But what's more important is the message I'm trying to convey is that it took me 20 years to get there, right? So what has this past 20 years been like to try to pursue this particular goal, and to shoot in the 60s? And it relates to life. I mean, it relates to everything. And the one thing I could tell you is I've always made it a point to have goals, personal goals. Okay, this is just me talking, but I've always made it a point to have goals where I can't reach them. Impossible goals, right? Unattainable goals. And, people may think that's a funny way of doing it, and people may say, why do you do that? Why do you have goals? I mean, be realistic. Live in a moment where you have to be realistic. And I understand that thinking, and I'm not being unrealistic when I do this to myself in terms of goal setting. But my point is, have a goal that sounds like it's impossible to get to. And you know why? because the more important thing is not achieving that goal. The important thing is the journey that you took to get there, right? Even if you don't get there, it's the journey that matters. It's the fact that you went through this with all of your effort and you made 100% effort to try to achieve whatever goal it is that you set out to do. Even if you didn't get there, whatever mark you hit, you wouldn't have gotten there in my mind unless you put a high ceiling on it, So I'll give you another example. Say real estate. I've had a personal goal recently. This is just 2 or 3 years of this goal, but I've told myself in a 12-month span, whether it's a year, January to January, or my anniversary with EXP, which is October to October, in that 12-month span, I want to sell $100 million in real estate. Accumulative, me, not my team, me. And my best year's probably been like 30 million. But I tell you, even the year I had the 30 million, my mind was on the 100, until that year finished. And then I looked back and I said, wow, I got to 30. I didn't think, oh, I didn't get to 100. I thought, wow, I got to 30. And that's the mindset, is that it's the journey that matters. It's goal setting is just one aspect for me. And I like to set these goals, and I like to tell myself, get to the mountaintop. Whatever mountaintop you set for yourself, get there one way or another. But truly, it's the steps I took to get to as far as I could up the mountain, And that's what matters to me. And that's what I try to tell everyone about goal setting, is that have a number, have a place, have an accomplishment in mind that you really want to get to. Even if you don't actually get there, the journey you took, the effort you made is the end goal. That's the goal, is that journey. And so that's the accomplishment, so for me, it was the past 20 years was a constant pursuit of 60s. And, I was able to accomplish that yesterday after 20 years of waiting, right? You wait for something for so long, you think that you'll never get it. But I never thought that way. I never thought I'll never shoot in the 60s. I never thought, okay, when's my time coming? I just kept my head down and just kept playing and got in a position where I made myself better, and I dissected it in my head in regards to what it would take to shoot around in the 60s, what kind of concentration it would take, what kind of physical effort will it take, and what kind of mistake-free round will I have to play. There's no perfect mistake-free round, but how many mistakes will I avoid, and how many will I recover from? So it's a full package to be able to do this for 18 holes, and once again, it was just the journey for me that got there. I mean, my best friends were there, Herschel and Phil. Credit to you guys for, kind of watching me through that round yesterday. You saw how nervous I was near the end, and you just kept pushing and supporting, and love you guys for that. And I'm so glad I shared that with you. I shared my first hole-in-one with you, and I shared my first 60s round with you. So you two are very, very inspirational in helping me get there. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And so my best friends were there, and it was just the journey. They were with me when I shot 70. I've shot 70 like 5 times, just one shot away from 69. One shot. And when you look at your scorecard at the end of the day, you're like, oh my God, I could have made an extra shot here, or I could have recovered one more shot here. That gives me a 69. And so imagine what kind of role that plays in your mind. It is when you're so close to sniffing it, and you feel like you missed out on it because you made a mistake here and there, or just something just prevented you from getting that last number, in golf. And I kept all those scorecards. I still replay those scores in my mind, about, man, I was so close. What could I have done differently? Which shot could I have made better in the moment, to get me that 69? And yesterday, I didn't really think about it, to tell you the truth, until the 18th hole. Because I came into the 18th hole, and if I shoot a par on the last hole, I shoot 69. Okay? Par, right? Par 5, shoot a par, hit a 5, and I get 69. But my mind didn't go that direction. I hit a beautiful drive. I get to the ball for my second shot. Mind you, this hole is on an island. There's water surrounding it, right? Front, left, right, back, right? And it's on an island. So it's a make or break hole, right? I think I had 215 yards to the flag. And normally that's my hybrid. I take my hybrid out, I hit it, try to get to 215 yards. And my mind didn't deviate from it. I didn't become conservative all of a sudden and say, no, let me hit it 100 yards and then I'll hit the third shot 100 yards. The conservative approach, doing a layup, right? You call it layup. So in my mind, I was like, stick to what got you here. Your mindset, your imagination, your club selection, whatever you wanted to, routine that you've had to get here, stick to the same. You're not changing anything just because you're trying to hit a personal best. If you change something out of your routine or out of your thinking, that score's gone. So I stuck to my routine. I hit the ball on the green in 2. And what that means is on par 5, got it in 2. So now I have 3 shots left to get to my 69. I'm safely on. Great. The putt was pretty long. It was about 40 feet. And so I told myself, same routine. I walked around, measured, the distance in my mind, told myself where to hit it. Just told myself, you're going to do the same thing. I didn't stare at the ball longer. I didn't, even though I was nervous in my mind, I didn't change anything about my routine. Hit the putt. It was about 5 feet away. And in my mind, I told myself, get the ball within 5 feet, right? You can make a 5-foot putt. And if you make the 5-foot putt, there's a bonus. You were 1 extra shot under. And what that means is you got a 68. So made that shot, hit the putt, the long putt, got it to 5 feet, got on top of it, didn't change my routine, 1 practice swing, and then hit the putt and went in, and then had a fist pump. I got a 68 instead of a 69. So I didn't take the conservative approach. I stuck to what got me there. And my friends are, they'll tell you this all the time, is that when there's a hard shot coming up, a lot of them will think in a manner, and this is not a negative, what I'm about to say, but they'll just think in a manner of, okay, where can I, get out of this hard shot, make the next shot that much easier. And that's the way golf should be played, is that how can I get in my ball in a position where I can have an easier shot on the next one, right? My mind is one-track mind, if that makes sense. I have a one-track mind, and it is whatever window you see. If you got to hit the ball here, you hit it there. You got to hit there, you got to hit there. How can I get to the hole? I don't think, how can I get to the hole from point A to point B to point C? My thinking is point A, where the ball is, to the green, point B. And how can I get there? Can I get there in one try instead of, doing a approach where you give yourself a chance to get it up and down and, save par. And so I have that one track mind. And that's just how I work on the golf course. That's just how I think. And it's the same with life. I have one track mind. How am I going to get to my goal? Whatever I want to accomplish, that day, that month, that minute, anything. I'm just focused on that. So I stuck to my routine and it paid off. It got me a sweet 68. My buddy Phil actually recorded the 2-putt on the green and recorded my reaction. It wasn't scripted. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just, did a fist pump, but it was such a awesome moment. And I saved the ball and I got the guys to initial it, right? So it's my initial in the middle there. There's Phil up there on the left of me, and then there's Herschel there on the right, and then that's the score and the date. So I'm saving this ball. It goes on my trophy case. So I wanted to share that 20-year journey, and what it took to get there. And God, am I, happy that I finally got there. And I'll set a new goal for myself. Maybe we don't know what that is yet, but I'm not shooting in the 50s. I'll tell you that. That's not it. But the fact that, this 20-year journey finally came to fruition has been a really cool experience in my mind. And the fact that I was able to share it with my best friends, and that just made it even more special. So I know I spent a lot of time talking about golf, but it was something I really needed to relay, that use the same mentality, in terms of your life and any goals you want to accomplish. Find a way to get there, and really appreciate the journey. Don't forget about the journey that it took to get there, the steps you had to take, the sacrifices you had to make, and really appreciate that part of it, because that's the end goal for me, is that the experience of the whole thing. And that will be my message to you, is that treat every situation in a manner where you can accomplish something really cool for yourself, and good things will happen when you think that way. Think positive, play this game of life with love, or play the game of golf with love, and great things can happen. So I'll leave this episode with a big hefty cheers to my friends who were there with me, and I appreciate you watching me progress through a lot in life, and those boys know a lot about my personal stuff, and so I appreciate you watching me kind of grow into where I am today, from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, career standpoint, and a golf standpoint. Surround yourself with the folks that love you unconditionally and support you no matter what you're doing, and I hope I do the same with the people around me. And so has been a great time. Had a blast. September 13th was the date I shot my personal best, and let's keep going. Let's see what else we can find goal wise. And so hopefully we have more amazing, interesting things coming up. Till then, be safe, be well. GREL. Love you guys. Cheers. And on to the next.